Hello and welcome back to the drive-in. This week I'm taking a look at a movie called Urban Cannibal Massacre, also known as Meet the Jones and Get Out of the House. Kind of weird it has all those separate names, but it says Eat Thy Neighbor. I believe this is through 𝙂𝙍𝙍 releasing, according to when I watched it on Tubi last night. Kind of shocked that it had a 𝙂𝙍𝙍 tag to it. Like, they were kind of like not even acknowledging it on the back of this DVD today. It's from 97 minutes from MBD Visual and TOMCAT FiLMS LLC. 4 years. The Jones family has survived by abducting and cannibalizing the homeless population in Northeast Ohio. Their way of life is put into a jeopardy when a victim's family and friends stumble onto the Jones' terrible secret. Their fight for survival is complicated when daughter Kendall, a newly converted vegan, falls in love with one of the family's captives and must decide between keeping up the family's cannibal ways or helping her newfound love escape before he becomes the Joneses' next meal. HorrorSociety.com says it's groundbreaking for this millennium. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they're calling it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre of urban film. And I kind of get that vibe too, just not on, obviously not on the level of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it says they thoroughly enjoyed it. And I would say I mildly enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't by any means on the level of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I'm trying to see who it's directed by. Stars Kyle Carthens, Hannah Harris, Mark Goller, Ashley Aquila, Kimberly Deanna, and Lavelle Duncan. Co-stars Tara Kadosky, Mia Jones, Lyle Shelley, and Octavius Maximus. It was directed by Maurice Thomas. We'll nod to him to here tonight on the channel. Maurice Thomas, I'm not familiar with his work, but it's nothing like in vein of what you're seeing here. It looks like it's a really sadistic film. It does have its moments, some pretty alright, decent practical effects. My only problem with it is it at times kind of tries to be kind of almost like an urban Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but like the only one that's really imposing is the one that seems to be doing all the killing in this movie. Outside of that, I mean, it has this guy that's kind of like gimply walking, really funny. I kind of feel like they were trying to go with their own version of a Chop Top, which isn't a bad idea, but I mean, it heavily borrows from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No real scares, kind of gory here and there, but I have done some reviews from the TOMCAT FiLMS as well. Like I said, it is a part of 𝙂𝙍𝙍 releasing. You can currently catch this on Tubi and currently on Amazon Prime. There's a look at the back. I just wish it was more in tone of this kind of stuff, kind of this dark, hooded cannibal. And, you know, it's a lot of it's shot during, like, light scenery. Like, it doesn't make it intense or scary or even full of jump scares. Not horrible. I mean, I've definitely seen better than this, but I've also seen a lot worse. But I could see why somebody might not like this just based on this cover because it doesn't live up to this Urban I kind of get why they went with an Urban Cannibal Massacre title as opposed to Get Out of the House and Meet the Jones. I don't know, just try. You know, it comes off as more imposing, but there's really nothing that I would consider overly horrific in this. Other than, like, you know, when it shows scenes where they're slicing and dicing a little bit. But more or less, it's just somebody searching for a family member, and they stumble upon this family that are cannibals. And I don't know, it's just kind of goes by the numbers. It kind of feels, if I had to say, it kind of feels like a Tubi original. Not I'm knocking on Tubi, but like, you know, a cannibalistic family with a Tubi original kind of budget. Really not nothing like, you know, nothing like you'd see in a theater. And you know, I like a lot of these cannibal films, but this one doesn't quite measure up to a lot of the cannibal films that are out there. But in the same token, it wasn't a horrible watch, and it did fly by pretty fast. It says it's not rated, obviously, I'm guessing because of the gore that it does have in it, because I don't, you know, I don't know what DVD guidelines are. You know, like if you have so much gore in a film, they up it to a not rated. But that's my review this week. Would I recommend it? I wouldn't say I'd recommend it, but I definitely, you know, you got an hour and a half to spend. It might be worth a look. It's definitely not one of the better cannibal films, just for the fact that you don't really ever see anybody doing much of eating or anything like that. Not that I look for that so much just because of that name, but like nothing really stands out that I would call it really scary based on this title. But you can catch that on Tubi, like I said, and Amazon Prime. Head on over there, and I think it's currently playing right now on both. So you can pay for that on Amazon for $3.99, but obviously I always go the Tubi route. But that's my review this week. A mild recommendation if you're curious about the cannibal side of films. But then on the other hand, if I was saying overall film, I can't recommend it. It wasn't horrible, as they say, but it's very forgettable at the same time. Not bad acting. You know, it was okay for what it was, but that's my review. And before I wrap up here, it's from 2016. It says on the back. I could have swore it said 2013. No, I'm getting a contrasting information here. Saying 2016, I guess TOMCAT actually brought it out on the physical disc, or MVD visual did. But that's my review this week. Make sure you tell your friends about Gary's Horror Drive-In, and remember to always get here every week, bright and early, because the good parking spots go fast. And I'll be back next week. I'm hoping with a review, or maybe a movie haul, depending. But have a good day, afternoon. Have a good Labor Day weekend whenever you watch this. And I'll be back next week. Bye.